everyone, welcome to Weekend Project. I'm Laura Lynn from the Mama Pop Quilt Shop. Thank you very much for joining us today. We're working on a little table runner. We've done table runners before, but I think it's been a while. Anyways, I came across this one in the McCall's Best of American Quilting. Anyways, I like the magazines. I like all quilting magazines, not just any specific one. So anyways, it's like that. It's called Little Vino. Oh, sorry, Vino Row. And you're literally just making a wine bottle after wine bottle after wine bottle and all sorts of different colors, okay? So it has you doing 30, and I think I actually have either 28 on this one, but to me, that's long enough, really. The hardest part was trying to find 30 different types of fabrics plus a different one for the cork. So clearly, I was successful. So what we have here is a nice big piece I got going on. I need to add a few more. So I've tried to just choose, you recognize some fabrics I've used before, and some fabrics are new, and some were donated, like I just did a huge green garden quilt. Actually, it'll be up on next Wednesday's Long Arm Wednesday, I believe. And it had some of this in it, and she gave me the leftover bits, so I incorporated it into something else. Why not? Reuse, reduce, recycle, all that sort of fun stuff. Oh, and this too. That little green came from it as well. But I'm not sure if that was actually in the quilt or if that was just extra fabric. But nonetheless, I'm using it because I like it. So what we're going to do here is add a few more. It has a little thing that you print, and you just tape it to the good old tuck tape, good old Canadian tuck tape. And I just made my template. Unfortunately, it didn't all fit onto one piece of paper. It had just a smidgy of the edge, I guess, for the seam allowance. It didn't fit. I just printed off another piece and just taped it together. So that's just all that I used. I just put it down, traced her out, and that was it. Either pencil or marker pen or even a dry erase or a heat erase sort of marker, whatever does the trick. Okay, so what you're doing, well, first we got to put the corks on to the other ones here. And I just chose a nice little neutral tan. It's actually flannelette. The rest is all cottony type fabrics. So this is the only one that's actually got a little bit of texture to it. So we're just going to sew on the last 4 that we need, and we'll leave the birdie one right there because we'll add it. Okay. And just keep chaining them up. And this yellow is, I think that was donated. That was awfully nice. I know this orange was. Thank you, Angie. I've used it in a couple projects so far. Every time I look at the orange and the yellows that my friend from Texas brought for me, I smile. Okay. Just going to add those to the top. Really easy. It's actually super fast. It goes together quite fast. Don't let the curves scare you. Really, it's just a slight little, and as long as you're pinning it, it's just fine. Put as many pins as you need. Okay. It's kind of like the clamshell when we were doing the clamshell. Put as many pins as you need. So use your little side cutter here. And I don't think I had any rhyme or reason for which one was going to go next, like in the order. I just wanted to mix it all up color-wise. So, but I think I'll grab this yellow one here. And what you do is you just kind of line it up here from end to end, do a little flip. And what I was doing, I was pinning this side and then pinning this side right to where it needs to be, and then easing the rest of it to fit, okay? Just make sure you get a nice, line it up really good. And I was putting my pins to the outside, so when I was sewing, I could actually take the pins out as I was going, okay? So just put your pins in, follow the little ridge, make sure your little edges are together, shifting your lower fabric or upper fabric, whatever it is that you need to do, okay? I'm trying to show you there, so hopefully Pop can focus in. And I'm not moving around too much. Okay, just lining up those edges. Okay. And you just end up easing it in and it fits. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna hold it up. See, it's just like that. It's all pinned together from side to side, and now we're just gonna sew. Go from one side down all the way to the next, okay? Just scoot over here, and then we gotta go back, and then we pin. And of course, you press before you add the next bottle, okay? And do a little back stitch, okay? And the reason, like I said, I put my pin heads to this side so I can easily pull it out, and put it into the pin cushion as I was coming around. Now go as slow as you need to. It's not a race. And it's also helpful to have maybe a little glass of vino while you're making the vino roll. Why not? Little vino here, little vino there. I'm not a big fan of red wine, but I do like the blush. I guess I like the mix of the white and the red. I find the red should just go in a stew and that's it. And the white, it's a little too blah. Need a little pick-me-up. All right, so there's literally, and we've added a bottle. So we're just gonna add another one, depending on what color we choose. Let's go for the crazy flamingo here. Okay, so we just do the same thing again. Pin it at the top where the cork is, and then pin it at the bottom to the other cork. Okay, like I said, and once you get, you get the hang of it, you just kind of go do 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 do, off to the races you go. Easy peasy. You just ease the fabric around. Don't let it stress you out. Try and stick to your 1/4 inch seam allowance. Okay. And because it's just such a slight curve, I don't think you need to make any relief cuts. And it didn't say that in the book either. So I think we're okay. Just take it slow and steady. Okay. And it said like 30. I was like, that seems like a lot of bottles. But if you really want to make such a statement, I mean, it's a great housewarming gift. It's a great hostess gift. It's something you don't know what to give somebody. Especially if you know they like wine or just like collector of bottles. Like, why not, right? It doesn't have to be just wine bottles. It's just a bottle shape, right? Okay. Take your pins out as you go. Don't sew over them. Okay. Much easier on your machine if you don't. So I've got the Dragon's Eye quilt put together, Pete's Dragon. We'll have a picture of it hopefully at the end of the video, and you can see what it looks like all finished up. And then it's going to be a long arm Wednesday. So. All right, so there's our other one, okay? And we just keep plugging it on. We got 3 more to do. So I think we're gonna end off, what do we have on this end? We have a nice muted tone. I think we'll mute the tone on that one. Okay, so we'll pin this. And you don't have to make it 30, you can make it 28. I think actually I had it at 21 at first, and I thought, nah, that seems to be a little bit longer. But it's completely up to you. Make as many as you like. You got a really big table? Do 50. And just the key really thing is to make sure you're pinning on one end, pinning on the other, and then easing the rest of the fabric that you have in between, okay? And this is a great way to, you could have just done this in black and white and gray, even your 2 favorite shades, the red and white. It doesn't matter. I mean, the only limitation is your imagination. Okay, there we go. We'll just sew that one down. So that takes the most part, is actually pinning. There we go. Use a variety of fabrics. You can use some drapery fabrics. You can, a lot of those have some really awesome texture to it, and some of them even have like, feels like velvet raised edges and like fleur-de-lis and paisleys and stuff like that. That would be awesome to make a bottle, I think so. Okay, so there we go. There's our other one. Do our orange and then our flowers, and then I'll show you how I'm going to finish it off, and then I'll show you a short one that I did. A smaller version. I was doing it as a gift. So, okay, see? Said one on either side, and then just ease the rest. I mean, you could just, if you wanted to put one in the center and you can maneuver the fabric as you're going, as you're sewing. I mean, it's totally up to you, but I'm rebellious in a lot of ways, but not necessarily in that way, because I want to really make sure it's lining up and the shape of the bottle is going to be consistent, right? I don't want it to look like, you know, one bottle, you know, melted or something. I want it to really, oops, why don't we pull that right out? Whoopsies. I'm looking forward to next weekend. Why, you say? Because it's Easter. And then after Easter, all the chocolate goes on sale. Give me a couple Easter bunnies. Okay, now we're just going to sew that one. And then we just have one more. And then I have backing, batting, and I'll show you how I do a quick pin and how I stitched it up. And it's completely up to you. You can do however you want to stitch it, you know. You can do some of those fancy decorative stitches on your machine. Or you can just use regular straight stitching. Or just a zigzag or what have you. Okay, a little back step. Do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. There we go. Now we got the orange. Oh. Missed a little spot there. Okay. Where's the seam ripper? Oh, there it is. Just one little spot. That's okay. Must have shifted when I took the pin out. Silly. Okay, just poke it on either side. Loosen some of those threads so we can maneuver it. Okay. There we go. Okay, we'll flip it on this side and we'll make sure it's going to stay. Sneaky blue. Kind of remind me of water. It was just a tiny little remnant piece that I had left over and I only had enough to make like 2 bottles. There we go. Okay, all fixed. All fixed. Easy peasy. Okay, last one. All right, and this gives me the 30 that I needed that the pattern said for. So like I said, you can change any side you like. I had like 7 of them together and it kind of was a good placemat size. So, you know, why not? You don't necessarily just have to make a whole table run. You can make a couple little wine placemats. Or, you know, your family, you and your girlfriends like to have a little wine night, then you make a little mat for the glasses and the wine bottle to sit on, sort of thing, right? Why not? Apparently the dog's having a hissy fit because we're not outside playing. But that's okay. All right, last one. And then I'll show you how I'm putting it all together real quick. Okay? Thank you to everybody who's liked and subscribed. We really do appreciate it here at the Mom and Pop Quilt Shop. It's very nice of you, and we love that you leave comments and have suggestions, and you know, it's nice to know that there's, you know, real people out there that are watching. And having fun with me on Saturday mornings. All right, so there's our 30. Okay, do a little stand up here and hopefully you can see it. A good section of it, okay? It's awesome, all sorts of color. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the batting. I'm gonna lay it right on top, okay, which is right here. All right. And of course, I always have extra from the quilt shop. That's the joys of having a quilt shop. You always have extra batting. Okay, and I'm just flipping it. I'm trying to make sure, I'm trying to utilize the space as much as possible. As you can tell, I'm trying to come right up to there. I thought maybe I might be just a 1 or 2 short for this batting, but we'll take a look here. So come a little close. I'm just trying to straighten it out as we're coming along. Okay. Okay, we should be okay. All right, so you came right to the end there. All right, now we will take the backing that I have, which is right here. And I sell this in the quilt shop. It's wide backing. It's from Northcott. I think it's called sand marble or something similar like that. It's quite pretty. And I'm just going to lay that up next to it. and roll it out. Okay, make it easy on yourself. Don't make things complicated. And this is where if you have some, I think it's 505, which is the spray adhesive, which is okay for your machines. This is where you can use it, or you just use your pins, okay? It's completely and totally up to you. You just pop a couple pins wherever you want to put them, depending on how you're going to stitch this down, okay? I'm going to go right here next to the bottle and outline this bottle, and in the process outlining the one in between. You can do it on every single one, do it on every other one. It was completely up to you, okay? So I'll just show you real quick how I was doing that. And this is, like I said, this is where you can use your applique stitches, your funky stitches. You may even have a stitch this little wine bottle. I mean, it's completely your little cheese or what have you, okay? So I'm just going to up my stitches a bit, the size. And just, without being a lead foot, follow the curve of the bottle. Okay. And then just do a little back stitch. Okay. And then the next one. And like I say, you can either highlight them both, stitch right on the line, stitch on one, stitch on the other. It doesn't really matter as long as you're getting what you want out of your design or whatever you want to stitch, how you want to stitch it, right? Okay, so I'll do one more and then I'll show you the one that I finished off. Okay. And the same idea of how you would finish off the big one as I did for the little one. Okay. Straighten that out a bit. Now notice some of my materials are a bit more flexible than others. Like I had this purpley lacy stiff. It's quite stretchy actually. Okay, so I'm just going to keep plugging away on that one, and I'll show you which one I did do here. I think this was 14. Okay, check that out. 14 is a good size. Good size for a table. Look, it takes up the whole, 36 inches plus of my little cutting board here. And I just used just a couple of different colors, nothing too crazy or wackadoodle. And I used my decorative stitch, one of my favorite ones, I said that kind of looks like a little heartbeat, around the edge. So I just stitched the binding on the back side and then flipped and machine stitched onto the top, okay, onto the top part. And you can use, there's lots of stitches on your machine. I mean, seriously, use them. Don't shy away from the fun ones. Even if it takes a little longer, it's just that extra little touch, right? So, and that's how I did it. And then actually in the magazine, they had it so they were actually outlining like a pretend label or something like that on the bottle. But I liked it just plain because, like I said, I liked the bottles just the way they were. They made some pretty funky colors. And then I just chose a nice little flowery blue background that, if they wanted that out, that's fine too. They don't always have to have the wine, right? So, but make sure, and then you just do the bind just as a curve, easy peasy, and make sure you put your tag on it. All right, so that's weekend project. I'm just going to plug away at this until I get it finished. So thanks everybody for watching. We really appreciate it. Take care. Don't forget to check out Long Arm Wednesdays. Okay, thanks everybody. Bye-bye. Have a great weekend.